The San Francisco Public Library acknowledges that we occupy the unceded ancestral homeland of the Ramaytush Ohlone people, who are the original inhabitants of the San Francisco Peninsula. We recognize that we benefit from living and working on their traditional homeland. As uninvited guests, we affirm their sovereign rights as First Peoples and wish to pay our respects to the ancestors, elders, and relatives of the Ramaytush community. I'm going to give some quick, since we've had so much internet trouble. At 2 o'clock today, we have a banned book event about censorship in our prisons. Coming up, we're still celebrating Viva. We have some author talks coming up. We have a live in-person author talk on October 12th, Tomas Moniz and Michelle Gonzalez. And yes, today is our kickoff of Filipino American History Month. And Monday, we have Barbara Jane Reyes and friends and a celebration of Filipino American poetry. Our friends at SOMCAN will join us for a healthy demo of Filipino cooking. And then we have an insane author extravaganza, 9 authors, all celebrating their latest work, all Filipino or Filipino American authors. So it's gonna be a biggie. Come check that out. Our friends at Diosa Blooms will be doing a shrimp chip bouquet and all sorts of stuff. So please check it out, sfpl.org/events, and we'll get the direct link in the chat just momentarily. We are celebrating Carla Cornejo Villavicencio's book, The Undocumented American, as our September, October on the same page. We encourage you all to read the same book at the same time. And Carla will be in conversation with Jonathan Blitzer on October 26th. All right, without further ado, I'm going to introduce you to Chef Reina Montenegro. And I know she took over there for a little bit while we cut out, and I appreciate it. So as I said, Chef was booked with us in May of 2020, and I'm so happy that we were able to get her back. And with like a whole new, like talk about pivot, she has done it. So in 2016, she started a catering business, which eventually led to the restaurant Nick's Kitchen in Daly City, which was like just an amazing takeover of a restaurant that just, we were all so happy to see it flourish. And then there was Nick's on Mission, and I was just like, wow, this lady is doing it. And then of course, you know, pandemic hit, but this has not stopped Chef. She has totally pivoted and now is doing a catering business. And she's opened up a new place in Brisbane and has pivoted to an online and storefront, and is doing a launch, which is launching tomorrow. So I'm going to turn it over to Chef and let her tell you all about it. Chef Reina Montenegro, take it away.
Hi. Oh my gosh, we got through it, guys. Welcome. Thanks for joining. I'm making lumpia, vegetable lumpia. It's called lumpia gulay in Tagalog. It's basically a vegetable lumpia. So it's our version of the egg roll. So all Filipinos don't believe that any of the dishes should not have meat in it. So my mom's vegetable lumpia has meat in it. So to veganize it, I'm adding a plant protein, which you can buy anywhere now, by the way. So I won't answer any questions now. I'm just gonna get right to it because there's the part where I need to pull off the filling before I start wrapping them. So I'm gonna get started. So if you're cooking along, just maybe write notes if it's too fast for you. I just have my pan here heating up medium to low. And what I'm gonna do is put my onion, which I'm gonna cut now. I'm actually using a shallot because I thought I had an onion and I didn't have any. So yeah, you can use onion. You can, you know, if you don't like onions, you don't even have to use it. You can just use garlic, right? But the best thing about this dish is basically it's called the kitchen sink recipe, where you know how you buy all these vegetables in the market and it's just rotting in the fridge, like it's not you can't use it, or you forget about it, or it's hard to cook, right? So you're like, this would be like, oh, it's almost rotting. So I'm gonna cook it down or cook it for dinner or something, and you can just make it into an egg roll. So I'm gonna add that in, and then I'll add some garlic. So I had given recipe ahead of time, so whoever registered should have it already. So medium heat, and I'm just going to brown this, and so I'm adding the meat right after, the vegan meat, just to brown it with the aromatic. So while that's browning here, I'm going to tell you about the vegetables that I'm using. So again, you can use anything, but this is what my mom usually uses, except for the bean sprouts, because we didn't have any bean sprouts. So I have mixed veggies here, frozen veggies, you know, the typical frozen veggies. I have carrots, and then I have jicama. She always adds that in for some reason. It kind of makes it a little sweeter. Some people don't like it, but again, you can do whatever you want. You can use whatever. So this is cabbage as well that I'm gonna shred. I'm gonna add that in too after. Okay, so browning the meat real quick here. So there's like different kinds of lumpia. The other one is smaller. They're called lumpia Shanghai, and they're actually meat, just meat. There's no veggies or anything in it. This one, they are called the vegetable lumpia, but with meat in it, just a little bit, you know. They say to flavor the lumpia, which doesn't make any sense to me because the meat doesn't really flavor, in my opinion. It's the stuff that you add to the meat. So anyway,
Chef,
so
can I ask a question while you cook?
Of course.
So our friend says the recipe looks good. She's wondering, she doesn't see the wrapper in the recipe. Is there a special wrapper?
Yes, and I'll explain that as soon as I start wrapping. I'll explain that.
Thank you.
Yeah. And there's all different kinds. Like there's questions like, oh, you know, can we use a gluten-free wrapper? You know, there's like a lot of things that I can explain, you know, once I get this thing in here.
Wonderful.
Yeah, so then after that, I'm going to add the cabbage because that has to cook down, you know, into the dish here. And then I'll add everything else, except for the jicama. The jicama can be last. Because that's basically, you know, something you don't really need to cook.
There's another comment about the beautiful cutting board, which we were talking about.
my very cheap cutting board from World Market.
There you go.
Yeah, World Market, guys. It's hilarious because they have like other really fancy cutting boards, and those never get commented on. That's funny. So here I'm gonna add some vegan chicken seasoning. It's a bouillon, you know, it's an Asian bouillon. If you can't find this, you can use any other like vegetable bouillon that's, you know, available in your market. The only thing I like about this Asian bouillon is that it's already salted, so I don't have to add salt. Yeah, that's like my favorite thing. And also I add just a little bit of soy sauce, only because I don't know, I'm used to it, but my mom doesn't add it in because what happens is when you wrap it, if it's too wet, then it kind of breaks the wrapper. So I make sure that I cook it down so that the soy sauce evaporates. So I'm just gonna keep mixing this together, and then I'm gonna add the rest of the vegetables. I'll show it to you when I'm done fixing. You can ask questions now too if you like. Anyone?
I see Derek has his hand up. If Derek wants to talk, I'm going to allow you to talk right now, Derek.
Derek. So this is what it looks like.
Yum.
Yeah. It's flying everywhere.
So how about tell us your background? Where are you from in the Philippines, and when did you come here?
Okay, so I am from this island called Dumaguete. It's a city called Dumaguete and an island called Negros. Negros Oriental to be exact. We're Visayan, so I'm basically kind of like I don't know, it's not a city girl. It's a province surrounded by water, and it's basically a university town. So if I had to compare it to a state in the U.S., it'd probably be Rhode Island, or it's like a university town. So I came here in 1997. Yeah, in August of 1997. And yeah, I've been here since. I've not moved.
It's because it's a very beautiful place.
It sure is. And my whole family is back home, so I'm the only one here. So it gets a little sad sometimes, but it's a great city. I love it.
And does your family cook vegan Filipino food too?
No, they do not. Their excuse is always, "Well, we're waiting for you to come here."
Oh, yes.
Okay.
When I mentioned to staff that we were going to have a Filipino chef that cooks vegan food, they're like, "I don't understand."
Yeah, exactly. That's a response from every single Filipino I know, actually. Funny.
Let's see. There is a question. What's your favorite Filipino dish that you cook, and what's your favorite to eat?
Okay, so it's definitely tocino. We make tocino at our restaurant, and that's for me the favorite. I think it's a lot of everyone's favorite too. I think. Yeah, it's cured. It's mock cured pork, and it's red, and it's so good. So I just finished cooking that. I'm just cooling it off. And now I'm going to show you the different kinds of wrappers that you can use. But this is the one that I use. So you can go to, it's called spring roll shell, but you can go use any other in the Asian supermarket. They also sell it at major supermarkets. It's made out of flour and water, really. And if you're gluten free, I would use rice paper. If you want to just eat it fresh, you can just maybe dip it in some water first to soften it, and then you can roll these in it. If you want to fry it, you can also do the same process, but just tighter, and then fry it. So that's the process of that. So this would be a good time for questions.
I was just putting in the chat that if our attendees want to get truly hungry, they should check out your Instagram, because I'm hungry all the time when I look at that.
I'm glad that it works. I'm glad that my strategy works, making people hungry.
Yes, for sure. I mean, so let's talk about you as an entrepreneur, and speaking of like social media, because I think you really do a fantastic job of promoting what you do and promoting yourself. And I think that's such a huge part of, I book a lot of authors and all that. And I think a lot of people don't understand that connection.
Yeah, I didn't get into it until about a year into opening my restaurant. I just didn't realize what the power is of social media, and I just decided to, be myself in there. And then I put myself into the customer's perspective, and I post food that makes me hungry when I look at it. So that's how I kind of do it. I don't have a strategy. I don't really follow rules. I hate rules. So I think I'm known to be a rule breaker. So I just do what I want to do and what's best for me. And if nobody likes it, then too bad.
That's a good way. People would like to see the packaging again for the wrappers.
Sure. These are the ones that we found that really are strong and stays intact during frying. There are a lot out there, but we've tried all, and this is the one that really works well. Unfortunately, it has wheat in it, so if you're gluten free, that's not going to work for you.
Okay, I'm going through the chat to see if I've missed any questions. And welcome YouTube viewers. I don't think I got a chance to say that when we were internet panicking. Okay. Everybody loves a rule breaker.
Yeah, I am known for that. I mean, veganizing Filipino food in itself is already a broken rule, you know.
Yeah, how did your family react to you like going complete vegan and taking it on?
So my mom basically said, are you gonna just eat salad from now on? I'm like, no, I eat burgers, I eat chicken, and like vegan chicken, I eat everything. So yeah, I mean, now she's a believer, but at first she was like, what is she doing? What is this craziness?
Yeah.
But now she's all for it. Yeah.
The way you transform food is just astounding in the vegan world. I'm gonna post this little picture on Instagram of the tacos that you posted the other day. Oh, those look so good.
Those are good. I'm not gonna lie. Yeah.
Do you have tips on how to move towards a more plant-based diet?
Absolutely. The first thing you do is really replace your basics, So what do you use at home when you're there all the time? Like your basic necessities. So one would be your butter. We have amazing vegan butter available out there now. Change your milk, change your, just like the egg. You have just egg. So just the stuff that you use on a daily basis, that's like you really need it, bread, make sure your bread doesn't have milk or egg in it. It's really easier than you think. If you were vegan 10 years ago or 6 years ago like I did, it's so much harder. And now it's just, you have everything. I mean, so many choices. Well, hi Erwin, this is my friend. Yay. So yeah, that's easier than you think, guys.
Tell us about your e-cookbook. Do you have any opportunities to publish it in print?
Yeah, so I only have 13 recipes in there right now. So honestly, if I'm being honest, I'm waiting for someone who would like to work with me for a full-on cookbook. I don't want to do it alone, and it's just too much work. When I did even that was really hard. So I'd like to publish a cookbook one of these days. So if anybody wants to do it with me, let me know.
We would really love that. We'll definitely get it for the library for sure.
Yay. But yeah, I do have an ebook. It's on Amazon, and I think you guys have the link, right?
Yes. I'm going to put that in right now.
So I'm going to show you guys how to. It's pretty cool already. So I have my wrapper diagonal. Okay. Everyone thinks this is so hard, but it's so easy once you get the hang of it. So you're going to take a tablespoon of your filling and you put it about an inch from the edge. Okay. And then actually, before I forget, I have a slurry of flour and water here. And the reason this is to seal the egg rolls. And if you use just water, what happens is when you put it in the oil, the egg roll will explode because it needs, to be really sealed tightly. So I just made a slurry of 1 part flour and one part water, just so we secure it properly. So what I do is I fold it over the filling like this, and then I pull it back really tight. And the reason why I wanted to do it tight is because if you don't do it that way, once you fry it in the oil seeps into the egg roll. And so when you bite into it, oil will just fall all over you. And that's happened to me way too many times. This is why I'm doing it this way. So you pull it back like this really tight, and then you roll it to the middle like this. And then you fold it the left side over, fold the right side over, and then you keep rolling to the very end, and that's when you add your slurry at the end. Make sure that it's not wet either, because it's gonna see. So I'm gonna keep doing it. I'll do about 4, so you guys can practice.
Do you have a favorite vegan spot in the Bay Area?
I do. I hate this question, but I'm gonna actually answer it. I know I love all the vegan restaurants in the area, but I do have a favorite. My favorite is Shizen. It's a vegan sushi restaurant in San Francisco. They have really awesome sushi, and I love going there.
That sounds intriguing.
So, it's so good. I have to go there again, but I only go there on special occasions.
I just put it in the chat for you all to go check it out.
Then they're so good. So I'm gonna do 2 more of these. So I'm gonna tell you guys again how I do it. I just fold it over the filling. I pull it back as tight as I can. Roll it to the middle. Fold it on the sides, and then pull it to the end. And then you put your paste there, and then done. One more time. Let me know. Let me know if I'm going too fast, because sometimes they do it so fast. Everyone's like, "What just happened?" Pull it back as tight as you can, and so ideally you would want to really cool this down for a while, so that it doesn't break the wrapper. But we don't have time for that, so I'm gonna start frying it now. Just deep fry it. You can also just pan fry it. It's not going to be as maybe crispy if you just pan fry it. I like deep frying is the best, and Filipinos love deep frying stuff. Like I call myself the queen of deep fried food because I love it so much. The best. I can't have it all the time, but can't help myself. All right, I'm gonna get rid of my really pretty cutting board. And then I'm gonna move this over so you guys can see what I'm frying. So medium low heat, and you're really not cooking the insides, right? You're only cooking the shell, so this shouldn't take that long. It should only take about 2 minutes or so on each side, or like that. So, gosh, there's no questions. I'm surprised.
Let's see. I did see a question. They would like to know how to make the paste.
Oh yeah, it's 1 part flour, 1 part water. That's it. And you mix it together. Excellent. That's all it is.
And then Seth says, Shinzen has a sister restaurant in Hawaii if we ever all find ourselves there.
It's called Tani, and I've been there.
Oh, yes. I'd like to find myself there.
So good. So good. I've been there. It takes a long time to get in, though. They're always busy, but it's worth it. Yeah. Okay.
Chef, can you recommend a favorite meat alternative?
Wow. That is a very difficult question. I just don't want to hurt anybody. Well, okay, should I just mention some? I should just mention Beyond Meat. Okay, that's one. There's Impossible Meat, right? Impossible Burger, Impossible Meat. There's Light Life. There's more. I can't remember now, but those are the 3, basically.
I have some YouTube questions. Is two people want to know about air fryers. Do you ever use the air fryer?
You know what? I have used an air fryer for these. They're just not going to come out the same. What I have used it where I ordered this the day before and it sat in my fridge overnight, but they were already deep fried, unfortunately. And then I put it in the air fryer. I think it will work. I think it just won't be as brown or as crispy. But I would try it at like 400 degrees. I love my air fryer. I actually air fry everything. So do it like 400 degrees and then maybe for like 12 minutes or so and check it and then turn it. Yeah.
Okay, how about the freezing of freshly rolled lumpia?
Yes, you can
Yes.
definitely do that. That's what my mom does.
Mhm.
So she makes a ton of them, and then she freezes it. So these are done, guys. So I'm gonna
Yum.
drain it here, and the way I drain it is standing up on a colander like this, like a strainer, just so the rest of the oil drips down to the paper towel, you know, just to ensure that when we bite into this, the oil doesn't go all over our face.
I'm hungry. I'm hungry too. We have some hungry folks in the audience.
Here, let me show you exactly what this looks like. You see it?
Yum, yes.
Yeah. And then,
So
yeah, so I just did that. And then let me introduce you to the 3 Musketeers of dipping sauce. Okay, that people use. I'll explain why. So where I'm from in Dumaguete, we only use vinegar and garlic. So it's white vinegar. I use cane. I use this one. It's it's a cane vinegar. So for me, I use this all the time. But you can use any white vinegar. And then so white vinegar and garlic is all we use for our dipping sauce. And then for Filipinos from Manila, they usually use soy sauce, which I have in here, soy sauce and vinegar, and also add garlic in here, onion in here, so right there. And my personal favorite that I absolutely love, I don't care what people say, it's so good. It is vinegar and sambal. I don't know if you guys know what sambal is, but it's this one right here. It's a ground fresh chili paste.
ooh, yum.
I mean, look, I have no more left, but this is this this is what I use, and I just kind of dip it in there. So like I take this and then I'll dip it like this with a chili and my vinegar in there, and then that's how I would eat it. Here, have some.
So we have another question about freezing the lumpia. You would do that not when it's fried, right? You would do it before it's fried. Or can you do both?
No, you can't. Don't freeze it after it's fried. It doesn't work. It makes it actually taste weird. I've had that before. But do it before you fry. And my suggestion is if you're gonna put it in a Tupperware, sprinkle some flour loosely in the bottom, put your lumpia on there, the veg lumpia, and then sprinkle another sprinkle flour again on top of it, and then layer it with another layer of lumpia, just so they don't stick together. So that's like the trick. So when you take it out, it just comes off. Yeah. And from frozen, you can actually deep fry directly without waiting to defrost.
Yum. Winifred says, you're so mean, I could literally bite through the computer.
I know I should do that again, just to piss people off. I'm sorry, to make people mad.
Yes, I missed it.
Should I take a bite? Yes, so we didn't to see how it tastes like.
We want to hear the crunch. Yum.
Oh my God.
Yes, we're hungry. We're all hungry now. Broken screens. And then was it just plain white vinegar that you used in the sambal with the sambal?
Oh my God, so good, guys.
See if I'm missing any questions here. Freezing the lumpia. I'm so hungry. Which was a product she helped get over here in her own way? I'm not sure I understand that question, but maybe you do.
What was the question?
Let's see. I missed it. What?
Oh,
nope. Where'd it go? Seth. Which was a product she helped get over here in her own way?
Oh! They're talking about Omniport. I don't think it was
Omniport. Yeah.
Yeah, I don't think I did it, but I know that my friend and I, Ava Tong and I, we're both obsessed with Omniport, Omni Global. They're like this company from Hong Kong, and we've been trying to recreate spam for a long time. For me, it's been 6 years, and I knew that I wasn't going to be able to do it. When I heard that they have it, I was like emailing the CAO, the investor. I was like, please. But I don't know if that has anything to do with us. I just know that I was one of the eight restaurants that was able to try their products and launch their product here in the US. So yeah, I'm pretty proud of that. I'm still their ambassador. So I'm
Yeah,
very
that
happy.
spam asubi looked pretty freaking good as well on your Instagram.
It's really good. Yeah, I try to trick non-vegans to eat that and say, oh, look.
I believe it. All right, friends, any more questions? How's our YouTube viewers? Are you all hungry out there too? I know you are. Let's see. Please explain the popularity of Jollibee.
Because of the fried chicken, and I'll tell you why. It's MSG. It's MSG.
Totally addictive chemicals.
They pressure cook their chicken while frying it. I mean, that's incredible.
And the spaghetti is just sugar, right?
Oh yeah, pure sugar. We make that sometimes as a special at the restaurant too. I've done the whole Jollibee combo veganized as well.
Oh, that's awesome.
Yeah. Yeah, I love MSG too. So yeah, this was fun, guys. It was kind of, this was really fun.
And so is your restaurant like the storefront is open on a regular basis, or are you doing?
So Monday through Saturday, it's a to-go place. So we don't have sit down. We have like little chairs and tables in the front, but it's mostly to go. We have a nice park, Brisbane Park. People always eat there after they order. But yeah, it's open Monday through Saturday, 11 to 8. You can order online ahead of time, and you can pick up your order. But tonight at around 8 o'clock, we're going live. We're going national, so we're going to start shipping 6 of our very popular dishes from the restaurant, 1 pound packages of them. I'll give you an example. So if you have anybody that is out of town and they just want to, they purchase and they want to purchase our frozen items, and we're launching tonight. It's very, very exciting, very crazy, but it's happening.
That's amazing. Congratulations, chef. That's very cool.
You.
And did you ever when you started like toying with the idea of opening or taking over Nick's on Grand, were you like, you don't seem like the kind of person that would doubt yourself. So
Oh no. That's the opposite. I doubt myself all the time. Nobody knows about it.
That's the way to do it, I think, right?
Yeah, like one of my very close friends did a speech at one of my birthdays, and he said, Reina's like a duck that's swimming in the river, where like you can see her like just smoothly going down the river, but what you don't see is her bottom going like this, just trying to survive. But the very close friends know. I do doubt myself a lot. I deal with anxiety like everybody else, but I think I've learned to, take yourself out of the way. The first thing to do to really reach your dreams is to put yourself aside. Tell yourself to move out of the way so you can pursue your dreams. And if your dreams do align with what you believe in, this is what I really believe. If you align yourself to what you believe in, then it's always going to be successful. If you don't believe in your product, if you don't believe in what you're doing, if you don't even love what you're doing, there's no point, right?
Yeah, that's great. Great words. Thank you, Reina. When did you, decide to become vegan? And did you notice like a considerable difference in your health when you did that?
Absolutely. I'm a Filipina. I'm a pork eating Filipina. The last thing I ate was a big pork knuckle deep fried. That's how we were raised, and that's how I ate. And definitely huge. I turned vegan in 6 years ago, almost 7 years now, and I did it because my children had skin issues, and I just had come across this article about dairy being correlated to skin disease, and I just like stumbled upon these other documentaries about animal slaughter or all these animal cruelty, and I don't know, I just kind of have an awakening, and then also I was thinking, man, if I turn vegan, I mean, I'm gonna miss out on all these pork dishes, you know. And I had a catering business that was, you know, serving meat to my clients, and I was like doing high corporate accounts downtown San Francisco, and I was thinking, oh, I'm gonna lose all these accounts. And so I decided veganizing all of my food, and that's when Nick's Kitchen was basically put on my lap, and it was an opportunity for me to open a restaurant. Yeah, so I think definitely the first thing I noticed is my gut. There's lighter for sure, and also like clearer. I was thinking clearly, you know. I don't know if that makes any sense, but I used to always feel heavy and foggy, and the first thing I noticed was that, like, I was lighter.
Thank you. We have a question about, can you suggest a soy sauce without caramel color added? Also, are there uses for sambal that you may not think of, like other than dipping sauce?
Oh yes, I use sambal on anything, noodles and stir fries and all. I literally add it to everything. Look, it's nothing left. At the restaurant, I have a big one. Yeah, and you can use it anywhere. Ramen, sauce. I mean, any dishes that you want. It doesn't have a strong flavor. It just has that kick that it's really good. What was the first question?
Soy sauce without caramel color.
What about amino acids? I believe coconut aminos. I believe they don't have that caramel coloring in them.
Excellent.
I'm not sure, but I've never been asked that question, but good question.
How about, is the goulet in the lumpia basically what you might put in your pancit?
Yes, except for celery, because I don't like celery.
Oh.
It's weird. But usually it's celery, you know, the mixed vegetables. You can also put bean sprouts, which I didn't have. Bean sprouts. I mean, I'm telling you, you can use whatever that's about to go bad in your fridge.
Yeah, there's a question on YouTube that says, have you ever experimented with odd and unconventional lumpia fillings? Like, what's your oddest lumpia filling?
Probably, it wasn't me. It was my friend Ava. She put like cheeseburger ingredients in it. I was very surprised. Yeah, so she put burger meat and cheese. I think, yeah, this is a couple of years ago. I remember biting into it. I'm like, whew, I'm so surprised. You know, it's a surprising taste because you'd never, you know, imagine a burger in a vegetable lumpia.
All right. How about any other questions out there, YouTube friends? Let me double check. All right. I think we're good on YouTube. And, oh, I see some more messages. Let's see. Some happy faces. If you can remember, what was the first thing you made or ate after you went vegan that made you feel like, okay, I can do this?
Wow, there's so many. I was like on a rampage. I just remember veganizing every single thing I could think of. There's so many. The only thing that comes into my mind was the tacos. I made these Gardein strips, which is like, now Gardein strips are not as great, but I just grilled these strips and I flavored it with all these flavorings, and then I added coleslaw in it in my taco. So I added coleslaw with like vegan mayo and all that stuff, and then I put the grilled strips in it, and it was like I'm like, wow, this is really good. And I just started like veganizing everything else.
Excellent. And you mentioned your kids, so they're all vegan too?
No, they're not all vegan. I guess it's a personal choice. I mean, the little one is 90. She says she's 98% vegan.
Okay.
She still has like occasional cakes at school if they have it. But yeah, I mean, it's a personal choice. Like, I'm not the kind of vegan that would shove this down your throat. I mean, it's definitely your choice, your body, your choice. It's also great for the environment. You know, it's cruelty free, and so it's all up to you, really. I mean, it's just like religion. You know, you can't really push that down anyone's throat.
Yes, great comparison. All right, friends, I am, I see one more question. What do you tell Filipinos who are skeptical about vegan Filipino food?
Just try it. Just try it. Only because like there's this older gentleman that had come into my restaurant one day and he didn't realize we were vegan, and when he found out, he basically cussed me out and said, "What the hell are you doing? We're Filipino, we need meat." And all I said to him was, just try it. You don't have to pay for it, just try it. And then he ended up really loving the food, and he stood up and he looked at me and he said, "Oh, do you know that my daughter's husband's sister is vegan?" Now he like, so it's it's all about mindset, I guess. And it's like, just try it. You're not gonna lose. There's nothing to lose. Just try it.
Yes, that is great. Thank you, Chef Reina. And thank you all for sticking around through our little tech issues there. We made it through.
You made it.
No end of what happens on Zoom, I promise. I thank you all for being here. And I put in the chat box the link to how you can get to Chef Reina's site of all the links today, but I also put in all of her, get on her Instagram is where you'll find all the best food. And I think that's it. Chef, congratulations on your success and all that you do. And we're so happy to follow you and so happy to have you back and in the library again. And hopefully someday we'll have you actually in the library celebrating your cookbook and everything you do. All right, friends.
Awesome.
Yes, it would be. It would be. All right, everyone. Thank you all for coming out today. And we appreciate you stumbling through it with us, and have a great one. Thank you, Chef Reina Montenegro. Bye-bye.